all viewers. This is Guindy Times. I'm Lokesh Kumar pursuing mining engineering, a member of Guindy Times, and this is Intern Diaries 5.0. Here we used to take interviews of our seniors who have done internship in different companies. Today I would like to express my gratitude to my senior Sahana Dinesh, who has done his internship in Adobe. I would like to thank her for taking her time out instead of her busy schedule. So Sahana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you, Lokesh. Hi, I'm Sahana, and I'm a final year computer science student at CEG. And I interned at Adobe as a technical consultant intern this summer.
Yeah. So how did you know about this opportunity?
So this was an on-campus opportunity that I was made aware of through CUIC.
Yeah. So can you please elaborate about the selection process?
Yeah, sure. So there were 3 rounds of selection. So the first was shortlisting according to some basic eligibility criteria. The second round was a technical and coding test. So we were asked to choose from 4 tech stacks prior to our test. So the options from what I remember were Java, JavaScript, SQL, or JavaScript, SQL, and PHP. I chose the latter. So the first portion of the technical and coding test was 30 technical MCQs, and which we had to solve within a duration of 30 minutes. This was followed by 1 coding question that we were given 30 minutes to solve. So this is usually how most coding tests for companies work. But what followed this was interesting. We had a written test. So we were given a statement and a word limit, and we were allowed to oppose or support the statement and provide this in a written form. So basically an English written test. And after this, we had a gamified assessment. So this included like various memory and pattern recognition games. So this was very new for me, and it was also very interesting to see this in a technical company's test. And after this, there was also some data analysis questions. Yeah, so this was the second round. And then about a month after the technical test, I was contacted by Adobe, and I was informed that I was selected for the interview process. So I had 2 interviewers in my interview, and I was first asked to introduce myself and explain the projects that I had listed on my resume. And then I was quizzed thoroughly on the technical skills that I had listed on my resume. And I was also quizzed on the contributions that I had made to the projects listed on my resume. This was followed by some situational questions and some general knowledge questions as well. Soon after, I received a mail from Adobe that I was selected for the internship. So this process took about 1 month, which is a little uncommon for on-campus opportunities, but yeah, it was pretty interesting overall.
Yeah, great to hear this. So what are the different preparations you have made other than college curriculum for these things?
Yeah, so the basic college curriculum is what you should look at first. So concepts like OOPS, Java, Python, coding languages, any coding language that you're familiar with, DBMS and operating systems. So apart from this, coding obviously plays a major role in all on-campus and off-campus internship opportunities for core IT roles. So I started my preparation process a little late, to be honest, but as long as you're committed to doing it, that should be okay. So there are various resources available across the internet. For example, there's like Lead Code, Hacker Rank, Geeks for Geeks. I personally found Lead Code most comfortable, and there were also various Google Sheets with which were being circulated from various YouTube videos and on our class groups as well, which listed the problems and how many problems we should do per day and how many we should do in each topic. So that was pretty helpful. And apart from this, I feel like logical reasoning is also something that I worked on a little bit. And of course, like projects is also something that you should highlight on your resume, and you should be prepared with a couple of projects in your own discipline that you can talk about in your interview.
Good. So how was the onboarding process?
So the onboarding process was a lot of fun, I must say. So Adobe was in touch with us from the moment I got my internship offer. Around, I think, a month before the internship, we were asked for our shipping address to give to deliver our laptops. My internship was online, but to my surprise, like a week before the internship, it also came with a box of goodies and Adobe swag. So the first day of the internship, we were all asked to wear our Adobe merchandise, and we joined a call with all of the interns who were being onboarded that day. Then we were divided into like groups of 10, and we were asked to come up with a unique way of like introducing ourselves. So it was a great icebreaker session, I must say. Our HR was very friendly, and they made it as comfortable for us as possible, like because we're all interns, it's our first time in the corporate world, and we're not seeing each other in person. So yeah, I definitely met a lot of new people through this onboarding process, and yeah, it was a lot of fun overall.
Yeah, good. So in your opinion, what are the skills you developed there?
So I learned a lot from my managers, mentor, and my co-interns at Adobe. So I was working under the Adobe Commerce Business Unit, which is a part of Adobe Customer Solutions. So here I was asked to come up with my manager, he asked me to come up with my own problem statement, own use cases and user journey. So I learned how to build an e-commerce website from on the Magento Cloud platform and how to deploy it on Magento Cloud from end to end. So my manager and mentor that I was assigned to, they were both very patient and very supportive throughout this entire journey. And I learned, like I said, the skills needed to understand a use case journey and how what customizations would be required for a particular business model. And I also worked on another project at Adobe. It was an intern portal. So this was something that all of the technical consultant interns worked on together. So it was a team of almost 40 interns. So we were asked to divide ourselves into sort of a functioning business unit by our managers. So we split into product owners, project managers, a tech, content, and a design team. I acted as a project manager in this process. So I was tasked with hosting daily stand-up meetings for the team, and also making sure that all of the goals were met for the day, and if there were any hiccups, to clarify them and then report back to the product owners to see if their requirements were met. So I was also working with 2 project managers throughout this process. So one thing that I did learn was teamwork and collaboration. So this was in school and college. I'd only worked in smaller teams of maybe 3 or 4 people, but this was the first time that I worked with such a large team of like-minded students. So I definitely learned how to compromise and how to come up with a solution in a short span of time. And teamwork was the most important skill that I learned here. Yeah, so I feel like these are some of the skills I learned at Adobe. And I think and also like the innate sense of curiosity, which is what my manager and mentor, they kept insisting, they kept asking me to come up to ask more questions, to asking more questions will help you learn better. So yeah, I feel like this is what I learned and the skills that I picked up on throughout my um, time as an intern at Adobe.
Really great to hear this. So, how was the culture at Adobe?
Yeah, so there's Adobe has a very, very flexible, very comfortable working culture. So one thing that I would like to add on is something special that they organize for all the interns, which is called Adobe Alchemy, which is the Intern Summit. And it was conducted for all the interns at Adobe throughout this summer. So there were 500 of us, and Alchemy was a day filled with events. So there were sessions from various business leaders, there were games, and there was also this chat or video sort of bot where you could go and talk to other interns. We were also again given a box of goodies from Adobe for Adobe Alchemy. And so yeah, Adobe really spoiled all of us interns. And yeah, I feel like everybody I met at this company, they were all very approachable, very understanding. I never once felt out of place, or I was never intimidated by my seniors. And even even though I only worked there for 10 weeks, I would say that the hierarchy is not very apparent. Everybody, there is no sir or ma'am over here at Adobe. We all like call each other by our first name. So yeah, Adobe's culture is very welcoming.
Really nice to hear. So, how you pursued your hobbies while these internships?
Yeah, so like I said, Adobe has a very flexible work culture. I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer, so I was able to take time out on the weekends to go to my classes. And even though we did have deadlines for the projects that we were assigned to, our work timings were very flexible, so we could work at our own pace. And whenever we wanted to throughout the day, there was no clock in and clock out time, at least for me as an intern. So yeah, apart from my time working on the project during the day, I had time to pursue my hobbies and other interests.
Nice. So last, what are your thoughts about Guindy Times and this Intern Diaries initiatives?
Yeah, the Intern Diaries is definitely a great initiative by GT. I remember binge watching it myself last year when I was sitting for the internship drive, and it helped answer a lot of my questions. So yeah, I think it's a very good initiative on GT's end. And I hope that I've answered some questions that juniors may have regarding the internship process.
Yeah. So I will express my all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.